Welcome, Aquarius. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your fourth quarter, October, November, and December reading for the rest of 2025. Your overall energy is the Five of Wands, and this is telling me that you're working something out. You're figuring something out. You're making something work. And the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck shows me that you are ultimately responsible for that. This does not necessarily mean that you are the visible or out front leader, but you are the executor of everyone's part in some project, creation, something you're building, that you know everyone's job. You understand the strengths of all members of the team, and you are the chief, gentle motivator, educator, trainer, and you do it with love, and you do it by modeling that behavior in your particular role. One of your roles in making something work is in recognizing the unique needs of all the members of your team. This is a particular skill and attunement you have at this time. I pulled for you from the Crystal Oracle not the Numite, this beautiful moonstone, and the key word is cycles. I am in the divine flow of my soul's rhythms and life cycles. And this is, again, validating that you model the behavior that you are seeking to share with others who may be struggling, finding their part, their gifts, their best skills in working as team members. Remember, you're part of a larger collective or effort, and you are showing others how to find their part, not how to mechanically execute a particular role or responsibility, but how they bring their strength to that. And that's what creates a unique creative team. In October, the Three of Swords. In October, I feel as though you are experiencing something that helps you better understand your triggers, your unconscious behaviors, your actions that you don't always feel in control of, but you mechanically activate. This can be the task maker, the critical parent. This may be a way that you recognize that you interact with others that you're not satisfied with, you're not pleased with. You may be acting out on a role that you once experienced in a significant way. And this is helping you see that pattern in a way that allows you to take some responsibility for why these situations perhaps haven't always worked out well. This can be a way that you've separated yourself out from others, made yourself to be the caretaker. And all that implies about perhaps imposing your best intentional practices on others, rather than helping them to find their own flow, their own rhythm, their own expression. And I believe that this is part of what you are cracked open to in a way that has not been clear to you in the past. How you come across, how you communicate in a way that it has set you up unconsciously for failure or disappointment. So this feels very concrete, a way that you're communicating your expectations that may come across as critical, that may seem off-putting to someone who is trying to find their way that you are at one level consciously trying to empower, but you may be undermining unconsciously. In October, there may be an opportunity for you to understand that fully, to cease that particular impact in a collective situation. In November, the Six of Cups brings you to almost the flip side of October's experience. Here in November, you are allowing yourself to revisit what you know to be a natural gift of yours, one you assume, you take for granted. And this could be the way in which you are able to skillfully work with others, empower them, take responsibility for the holistic results of an effort that you are engaged in, that you are promoting, you are encouraging in others. This natural gift reacquaints you with a sense of joy in finding the sense of play about what something you feel must be serious or must be heavy. There's a way in that you're already setting the tone by encouraging others to find their gifts, to find their joy, to find their strengths. And then the way in which you are standing back in October by allowing others to find the very thing that you're asking of them produces this reconnection with the joy of acting from a place of your heart, from a place of talent, from a place of skill and ease. So this is how good something feels when it comes naturally to you. And as you are supporting others to find that, as you have found that and are finding that in your own experience, is really connecting you at a deep way. It's really aligning your goals in whatever effort this is so that you're keeping the focus on pleasure, joy, playfulness, which all enhance creativity. That's what you're after here. In December, the Lovers. This is very much about decisions you are making, perhaps a decision that you have been weighing or working at with others for a while. And this is giving you a sense of history, experience, traction with a project, perhaps with a group of people that is encouraging you to look at the longer term benefits, not the easy wins, not the quick fixes, not the things that are going to instantly show some kind of bump or win. But this is about recognizing perhaps that you have prepared your team to approach the really big, desirable achievement that this is about for you. Perhaps you are now feeling that your team is ready, that you are all prepared to take on the bigger questions about the sustainability of your effort, long-term goals, how you can build your relationships with each other to support the work that each of you is responsible for. So this gives me the sense of arriving at true connection here, recognizing that this is the how that you're doing what is important to you as a team. So whatever your goals are, you have crafted the process and method of achieving that in your relationships with one another. If you are finding resonance with this reading so far, Aquarius, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot, knowing that I appreciate all the support that you give me in whatever way you give it to me. I am so intent on growing my channel. I do feel that your presence for me is one of the keys to that, and I thank you in advance for it. So the Three of Swords in October is clarified here by the Magician card and the Devil card. Interesting, yeah. I see you really throwing off through sheer source of will an old negative habit, an old story about yourself. And this really does go back to this sense of having a natural talent for feeling joy, being productive, being in tune, working at your own pace at something that you desire to be excellent. and not just excellent for you. You want all the parts of it to work well together. So in your encouragement of others, you are learning, opening up to, available to these unconscious behaviors, energies, triggers that you may not have been aware of their impact on others. So you are releasing these toxic habits. You're recognizing the limitations they've placed on your own life, how they've engineered your own choices in a way that has left you disappointed, depleted, and unwell, not feeling good about who you are, feeling heavy as though you're carrying the burden of someone else's agenda or program. And the magician is the key to this. This is you saying, I see, I understand, I can reshape, rethink my communication, the goals that I'm placing before others, the expectation, but also the methods that I use are not necessarily the methods others use. But my gift for speech, I can lend towards really healthy communication, i.e., listening to the needs of others. If I'm asking them for that, then I need to listen to it when it's offered and not create such a limiting or tight space of communication, not create a form where boxes are checked, but open a sincere and relaxed dialogue that listens. I also believe this is about the way that you're shaping something you're creating. You're realizing it doesn't have to be like others, and it certainly doesn't have to be like the success that you've been told is important. You're questioning whether success in a socially constructed environment is even what you're after at all. In November, the Six of Cups is clarified by the Seven of Swords and the Three of Cups. And November is bringing you more opportunity to engage in what I would call the moon cycles. This is opportunities for you, particularly during rest, as in your dream state. But there are many ways to achieve that through meditation, prayer, journaling, silence, connecting with nature. You recognize that in uh, connecting joy, pleasure, play, creativity with the work that you're doing, allowing that as the spark that unites you and your team, you are drawing more support to you. In fact, you're being celebrated for that support. And it's interesting because you are not seeking the approval of others in a way that you did in the past. In fact, the need for approval is something that has shaped your earlier life and has been an experience of rejection for you. You don't want to do things the way that they were done to you. Your ask for support, your ability to receive support had been limited in the past to those who you believed had the power to give it to you, and only those people. Now you understand that you don't need to beg for support, that those who are in alignment with you, that see your efforts, that see your value, are aligned with you, are celebrating your leadership in some way, and that you are strategizing the best way to work with those who are who feel fear, feel a sense of apprehension in moving towards this collective goal, this group effort that you are about. And you are addressing their fears by addressing your own, recognizing how you had been restricted, severe, tight about the ways in which to achieve goals in formerly, and that releasing that means accepting what others posit as their desires, as what they need to get from something. So you're being very strategic about how you set up your authenticity in a process, but still allow for others to object, disagree, and find a way to validate that, to address those needs as well. In December, the Lover's card is clarified by the Eight of Wands and the Five of Swords. It's interesting because the idea of doubt is really a part of the unease that is motivating you to deeply understand what your triggers have been, the blind spot that has been a part of your approach to accomplishment in the past, this rigid idea about what success or achievement is. And you are allowing yourself to simply receive the invitation, the ideas of others, the gestures of others that validate your effort, that invite you to participate in things that you otherwise rejected because you felt you would have had to do it alone. You're teaching yourself how to receive acknowledgement, reward, the recognition of value. And that is helping you release this doubt that things haven't gone well in the past in some key regard, that you haven't made the right choices, not because you weren't capable of it, but because you doubted yourself. And you look to blame perhaps others unconsciously. You may not have been aware of that. You look to argue with others about what is yours and yours alone, your desires, your goals, your values. Those things aren't really under discussion anymore. Yes, ways to achieve goals are. The goals you're going to achieve are, but not your value, not what you bring to the table. That's established, and it's established certainly for others, but you're really establishing it for yourself because this answers that ever-pressing question, why me? What do I have to bring to the table? What's special about the way I want to do things? If I'm leading others, I have to be accountable to them. And in that way, you are releasing this fear, this doubt, and simply learning your own lessons, the lessons you've given yourself that you now recognize are necessary to be accountable, to be responsible, if you want the successful outcomes you are sharing with others. I'm going to finish this reading, Aquarius, with a Soul's Journey card, and I pulled the Happiness card. I am aware that being happy means that I'm on the right path. This is beautiful and needs no further comment from me. If you've enjoyed this content, there's more content here for you to check out. Thank you for your likes and subscribes. Until next time, namaste.